Hello everyone. This video is made for the parents as well as for the students who are appearing the board exam this year for both class 10 and 12. I welcome you all for this video. Actually, this video is for some informations which will help you all to pass through this examination time comfortably as well as without making any mistakes as far as possible. You must be aware about do's and don'ts and the complete system. So I'm preparing specially this video for the parents first and for the students. I do hope that you will observe or you will watch the complete video, and if you will be having any queries, definitely you will clarify it with the respective teachers or the CBSE in charges of the school. For the PS Dhaligaon, you can contact me directly or Mitun sir. So now let's start with this without much delay. I'm going to share everything, whatever is very important, I feel, for a student and the parent as well. So here we start. I'm going to first talk about the agenda. What are the agenda or what are the points we are going to discuss? It is about the exam starting date, timings of examination, articles which are allowed and which are not allowed, dress code, during exam, what we have to do, last 15 minutes of exam, what do I have to do? We means I'm talking about the students. After the exam. Now let's start with the first point, starting date of the exam. So this is known to all of you because the timetable is already available. It is out there and it is very much available for every one of you in the CBSE site. So both class 10 and 12, their exam will start from 15th of February. Next, these are the things where you have to be very, very precise. Reporting time to the center for the students. So I am preparing this video to give the information to the parents as well, because parents must be also aware, those who will drop their children there, you must reach by 9:30 a.m. and the reporting timing, okay, for long center or distance center, it may be different, but for us, it will be 9:30 to 9:45 a.m. You should be there very much present. Then during this time, once you will be allowed to get inside the campus, but not in the exam room, students will be checked. Frisking will be done so that no unavoidable or unwanted objects will be allowed or maybe can be checked there. A reporting time to the exam room. So the time when the students will report to the exam room after examining their sitting plan, their reporting time is from 9:45 to 10 a.m. That means from 9:45 to 10 a.m. in between this time, they are supposed to report that particular place where they are going to write their exam. Then copy distribution. That is a blank answer script distribution will be done by the invigilator at 10 a.m. Question paper distribution. It will be done at 10:15 a.m. Then 10 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. they have to write and fill the details in the copy. 15 minutes are given for them. So students must take care filling up this. Then after giving the question paper at 10:15, they are going to get 15 minutes of reading time, 10:15 to 10:30. During this time, students will read the question paper. Then writing time starts. Writing time is from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. 3 hours. It is for full papers. right? Just say it is for 70 marks or 80 marks paper. And 10:30 to 12:30 p.m., that is 2 hours for half paper, I can say, or those papers whose marks are 30 marks and 50 marks. There are papers of 40 marks as well, but in our center, it is not there. Then warning bell will be there so that students will be aware, they will be made aware that now 10 minutes are left. So 12:20 p.m. for 2 hours exam, and at 1:20 p.m. bell will go at for 3 hours exam. So the students will be aware, as well as the invigilator there can remind them about the left of time. And the final bell will be there at 12:30 for 2 hours paper and 1:30 p.m. for the 3 hours paper. So these informations are equally important for student as well as parent, because they should know exactly and accordingly they can discuss these things with their child rather. Next, we come for the dress code. School uniform is a very important part for the exam as well for regular candidate. So students who are regular, they need to wear the regular students uniform. For us in DPS Dhaligaon, we fix it as the winter school uniform. Winter school uniform, house dress is not allowed as a uniform. But there is exception in certain difficult situation which you can easily understand. Girls will be allowed to wear house dress. And if there is any private candidate, they are allowed with decent and simple casual dress, or I can say formal dress. Next, it's the most important part, and this is a very important question for you all also. Many a times parents are confused what they will give them, what is not allowed or what is allowed. So please note down these things. These points are to be noted very, very carefully. I'm talking first about the allowed things, what are allowed for the children to in the exam hall. Transparent pencil pouch. So obviously students will bring pencil and pen. That will be allowed only in transparent pouches or transparent boxes. Now it is available. So please make an arrangement of that. Plain hardboard. So students used to bring the hardboard to write the exam, right? Then that board should not be decorative. It should be plain, and as far as possible, it should be transparent. Water bottle must be transparent. Medicine, if required. Some students may be there who may be needing a frequent or maybe a repetitive medicines, which may coincide with the time of the exam. So that is allowed. If it is prescribed, you may have to give the proof that it is to be used, and it must be informed to the center superintendent through the students. And then for timekeeping, analog watch. Usually there will be watch in the classroom only, fixed by the school. But even then, if you feel, you can bring it. I mean, students can bring it. But only analog watch is allowed, no digital watch. These are the items which are allowed. Next, what are not allowed? That is also very, very important. Non-transparent pencil box and pouches. These are not allowed. These are not allowed. Even now, there may be a question, what if I need a compass? Because geometry boxes are not transparent. Nowadays, this is available, but even then, if you don't have, take it in the transparent pouch for that particular day. As I mentioned, hardboard with designs or writing some write-ups over there, or maybe some pictures will not be allowed. Non-transparent water bottle is also not allowed. I mean, metal bottles you can bring, or there are some decorative bottles, water bottles, which may be even costly, but it will not be allowed. Non-transparent water bottle is not allowed. Any paper, right? Blank or written. Obviously, students will not bring any written paper or a paper where writings are there, but they may have a tendency to keep a blank paper, thinking that they may have to do some rough work or etc. It is also not allowed. Be very, very clear about that. Books and notes. That's a clear-cut indication. Everybody knows, but still a reminder. Digital watches, strictly no. Mobile calculators, pagers, and similar devices, which may be useful for cheating, that will not be allowed. CBSE has debarred it. And please try to observe and try to remember any item which are not allowed, but students are keeping at their own during the exam, and if found, it will be considered as unfair practice. And the students may be booked under unfair means practices, and their copies will be sent separately to the board, and their results may be withheld. So please be very, very clear about these particular things. Next, these are the things which are specially for the students. Very, very specially for the students. So parents also are to be knowing. Exam starts at 10 a.m. sharply by copy distribution. Blank copies will be provided. They will be given 15 minutes for filling up the details in the front page of the copy. They must be very, very serious, clear, and careful in filling up that so that no mistakes will be occurring. Then 10:15, as I mentioned already, question paper distribution will be there. This time, question paper will be distributed. There are sets in the question papers. So we'll so arrange it that next students, if I'm a student, next to me, left, right, before and after, these students will not get the set what I'm getting. At 10:30 a.m., writing will be allowed. You have to write. One important thing I should again remind you, during the reading time, you are not allowed to do any calculations, nothing to write. You have to only read the question paper. You can do oral calculations, anything, but nothing is to be written in the question paper as well as in the copy. Next, nothing is to be written or marked in the question paper. No exams. Please note it very, very seriously. Next is a very important part of the exam that is to be done from 10 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. Filling of OMR. I have just kept a sample over there. Of course, I'll send one detailed video how to fill up the OMR sheet. Every students are to fill up the OMR sheet, which is in the front of the copy. Very carefully, mistakes should not occur. Correction fluid is not allowed. Many students may have a tendency of bringing the correction fluid, that is the white fluid. You are not allowed to do so because these sheets are done or checked under the scanner. Using a white fluid may make the situation more worse. And by mistake, if any mistakes occurs, we have to find some other way because you don't expect that your copy will be replaced because every school has a limited number of copies counted. So it may not be possible for the school or the center to replace it. Then writing part of the exam, that is 10:30 to 12:30 in case of 2 hours paper and 10:30 to 1:30 in case of 3 hours paper. Black color ink is strictly prohibited. It is not allowed at all. It is the informations, or you can say code of conduct of the exam by CBSE. Only blue or royal blue color will be used. It is allowed. Of course, I must say black color can be used for underlining or marking certain quotations if you want to use, but not for the bulk writing. You need to use both the sides of the pages. That is usually being used by the students, but there are few students who don't do it. But for you, this is the information. You have to use the copy up to the fullest. For mathematics exam, graph papers are already attached in the copy. And therefore, you may be having a tendency, because usually in the school exams, you tear the graph paper and you paste it near the question. But in case of board exam, you are not allowed to tear this. It will be again considered as unfair waste. Please mind it. Wherever is the graph paper tagged, you complete it there itself, write the question number clearly. I can assure you that every teacher, every examiner, every evaluator, they will go through each and every pages of the copy, right? So there is no question that your graph will be missed out. It will not be missed out at all. Then another very important thing, because in school actually it is not happening, because in school we have the extra seats already given to the invigilators in every room. But whenever it is board exams, extra seats are not given at the beginning, because these extra seats are also tiny copies of 8 pages. So because of that, we will not give it in the beginning to the exam room. So whenever you need the extra seats, you plan it before you finish the last page. Supposing that you are starting the last page, after that you need a seat. Beginning of the last page only, you inform the invigilator, because that particular invigilator will inform the CBSE in charge. They will then supply the extra seats, because these are having numbered and we have to follow a process. You will not get very immediately. If you ask the extra seats now only, and we cannot be able to give you now. Invigilators will not be able to give you now. So be very alert. Last 15 minutes of the exam. Why I am saying it? As a teacher, I have noticed some of the deformities even in our students and other students as well, which is a very untoward situation. Right? Please, dear students, mind it carefully. And parents also, I request you, please tell your child that at least this part of discipline they will follow strictly. Arrange the extra seats. This is the first point. You check the timing, or as I told you already, at 12:20 and 1:20, warning bell will be there immediately. That time also you can take a decision. You arrange your extra seats if you have already taken. If not, sometimes for some subjects, for class 10 social science, you have a graph paper to be attached. So if such things are there, you have to keep it. You have to do it before the invigilator reminds you, before 1:30. Please make it a point. Don't think that at 1:30 bell will go, then you will start time. It's a bad habit and you will not be given extra time. Right? Then some students bring staplers from their side and they staple the copy. Please don't do it. It is also debarred by CBSE. You have to use strictly the thread given by the particular center. Check your information before you submit the copy. I mean, you have to write how many pages you have taken. If not, you have to write nil. If you have taken 1 page, write 1 page, 1, etc. All these details will be filled up. And a very important thing, many times students ask, sir, 1 minute, 1 second, once the bell has gone. Please don't make such requests, because these are actually not possible for even the invigilators to give you extra time, because they are also under the pressure. It's not that invigilators are doing partiality with you. They really, if they want also, they cannot give, because they will be questioned by the center superintendent why you are late to collect the copies. So they cannot give any time extra to the students. So please don't make any request of extension of time, even 1 minute also. This is a request. Then after the exam, check your belongings. Many students, as a teacher, as a center coordinator, I can say deputy superintendent. I have seen after the exam, many students leaves their valuables, valuable in the sense their belongings, maybe admit card, maybe registration card, maybe pencil boxes, water bottle, pen, etc. in their seats. Please make sure, dear students, that before you go out of the room, take these belongings with you, because it's not necessary at all that if you leave it, the center will receive this. Sometimes it may go to the wrong hand and you may not again get it. And the very important thing is the admit card, where there is a lot of problem. Many students leave their admit cards, original admit cards. And as admit card is coming at the last moment, even if this agenda is not there, I would like to tell you, please, this is an appeal to the parents basically. In the admit card, there is a place where parents' signature is needed. Many a times, parents becomes over enthusiastic to think that admit card should be preserved. It is a valuable one. There is no doubt that it is valuable one. So to keep them in safe conditions, they immediately laminate it without knowing also that they have to put a sign. And after that, there were instances where you have to again open the lamination and again you have to sign. Women's parents have to sign. This is not good thing. So actually, legally, if you observe, lamination is not allowed also. So I request all the parents, please don't laminate your words admit card. Keep it in the same thing, same condition. Put a transparent packet. You get plastic packets, obviously. Use that plastic packet to keep the admit card. So this is my request. So now these were the things which I felt that it is very important to share with you all. So I finish with this particular information to you, and I wish all the best to all of you. And for any queries, questions, doubts, your questions are most welcome. Thank you. Signing off. Bye bye.